I probably played violin, I'd say, until 4th grade, like first to second and to 4th. And then in 5th grade, I started with the tenor saxophone. And then I played tenor saxophone in band in school until freshman year of high school in 9th grade. And then at the end of 9th grade, I started becoming more interested in different instruments. I was first really interested in playing the bass. So I started off then with doing different stuff with electric bass with the high school band. And that was a lot of fun. And I found out about this really interesting seeming arts high school called the Perpich Center for Arts Education. And so it was at Perpich where I picked up guitar more seriously. I had kind of played around on guitar earlier in high school, but I was more focused on bass. So it was at Perpich where I really became very interested in playing guitar. So yeah, I've really kind of been all over the place with instruments.
Well, I'm John, homeless, I ain't paid my dues.
I guess the first time, or like my earliest memory of starting to play music was preschool age. My mom plays piano, and so there's a piano in my house, and she would just like teach me simple, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, like teach me something simple, and I would play it, and I'd be like really, really into playing it, and I remember like going into preschool every day with like the next song to play, because there's a upright piano there too. The next year, we started instruments in school, and that's when I picked up the flute, and I probably bothered everyone in my class because I was the know-it-all student who would like get way ahead in the book and be like bringing in songs from later and just playing a lot. I was really into it, and then I kept going, and I took private lessons after that, so through like middle school years and high school.
To man, found the good Lord on a Thursday, and on Friday I lost him again. Oh, I've got real good with my one-piece band, 'cause I'm the low man, no fan, corn cup, convulsion hand. Well, I'm John the homeless, I ain't paid my dues. Looking for a big rock candy mountain with the split pea springs and the whiskey fountains. Oh, turned onto the dirt roads in that August sunset. Six-pack so cold against the cigarettes. Gave me
my cousin Joey has been playing the drums since he was pretty much a toddler, and he's 8 years older than me, 7 or 8 years older. I don't want to go on record having his wrong age, but he was the predominant influence for me to pick up the drums, and I picked up the drums when I was in 3rd grade, And, you know, I've been listening to classic rock radio my whole life, and people like John Bonham definitely influenced me. One of the first songs I learned to play on the drums was Good Times, Bad Times by Led Zeppelin. And, you know, when I was in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, I'd pretty much just put my headphones on, put in a CD, and play along to artists that I was really fond of, like the Misfits, the Ramones, Sex Pistols, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, you know, all the classics. I'd just listen to the songs I loved over and over, like most kids my age were, but I was playing the drums along with them.
On the rocks by the swimming hole, I went in with a shovel. 5 miles from reason, 20 miles from shame. Honey, it's been so dry, we could use some rain. Well, this is the season when our work turns to grain. Honey, it's been so dry, we could use some rain.
Well, I'm a cellist, and I started out going to a Waldorf school in kindergarten. And with Waldorf schools, you always start with a stringed instrument in 3rd grade. And so I chose the cello, and for the first year, we didn't have private lessons. We sort of met in groups, and we would play, you know, open strings, ba, 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 ba. Anyway. And just sort of like back and forth and do not very much. But then you were actually required to start taking private lessons at that point. And so some people would just sort of, you know, go to lessons and play in the orchestra and, you know, didn't get super invested, but I actually did end up getting pretty invested, which is why, however many years later now, I still play the cello.
COA was sort of a decision not really thinking about music. I did actually send like a CD in when I applied just for the heck of it, and I think Cooper maybe listened to it. I'm not really sure if he ever did. But music definitely really changed for me when I came, because I decided I didn't want to keep taking lessons. I didn't want to try and find a teacher here. I started playing in the orchestra, and Cooper was really excited to have a violinist, and that was fun, and I was really happy to contribute to like the one organized form of classical music that I really see happening on campus, and that meant a lot to me because classical music had been such a big part of my life. I definitely have more of a connection with classical music and more of an understanding, I think, of it, and there's something about the complexity that I can sort of connect with. And so I haven't been playing as much fiddle music because I only have a certain amount of time I really can fit music into my life at this point. And so this year I've been more doing classical.
But I have gone to orchestra all the way through every term that I'm here. And even though it's not a really, really big group and there's not that sort of like grand feeling of like playing with 80 people, it is still really nice to, you know, to be playing off of other musicians and to even say, hey, like, we're committed to making music at the same time every week.
And I remember the first term I was here, I was still playing oboe a lot. And Allie Bell came in and was playing, and she played bassoon. And I remember like we go to Cooper and how excited he was that there was an oboe player and a bassoon player on campus at the same time, because that was a first in COA history. And that was where the impetus for the orchestra came. We were sort of like the founding members, and it didn't actually get going until the spring. But we started out as a quartet with me and oboe, Allie on flute, Nappy, who graduated, me and oboe, Allie on bassoon, Nappy on flute, and Lindsay Baker, who transferred on clarinet.